Hello. Today we're going to learn how to write a for and against essay. Okay, it's on page 68 in your textbooks, and the first activity we have for today is to take a look at this collage. There are 5 photos in it, containing photos, medicine, shops, running water, school, and electricity. And I have a question for you. Which of these things would it be the most difficult to live without? In my opinion, the most difficult would be to live without running water, because it's essential not only for our health, but also for hygiene. In the second place, I would put electricity, then I would go for medicine, shops, for school, and finally shops, even though I'm a shopaholic. But which of these you could not live without, or you could not imagine your life without? Okay, now we are on page 68 and we are dealing with the exercise number 2, which is the following task. Read essay about contacting rainforest tribes and answer the questions. There are 2 questions here you are to answer. How many arguments for and against the topic does the writer give? What is your personal opinion on the topic of the essay? Okay, so I'm going to read it for you. Nowadays, many of us live in a world of high technology and instant communication. For most people, it is hard to believe that in places like the Amazonian rainforest, there are still tribes who have never had contact with the outside world. Some people think that we should make contact with such groups, but others think they should be left alone. On the one hand, there are several arguments for making contact. First of all, the people in these tribes could enjoy a better standard of living. For example, they could get access to electricity and running water. Furthermore, the young people of the tribes could go to school and benefit from modern education. They would probably be amazed to learn about modern technology and life in other parts of the world. On the other hand, there are also many arguments against making contact. Firstly, after contact, many tribal people suffer and die from diseases that don't exist in the forest where they live. Next, history shows that tribal people often join larger society at the lowest level. For instance, many tribal people become beggars or tourist attractions. To sum up, there are clearly strong arguments for and against making contact with these people. Personally, I think these tribes should be left alone to continue their traditional way of life until they choose to make contact with the outside world. Okay, so now let's get back to our first question. How many arguments for and against the topic does the writer give? Okay, I'm sure you already know the answer. Yes, 2 arguments for and 2 arguments against. Arguments for are given here in the second part, and arguments against are given here. Okay, and I have a question for you for homework. What is your personal opinion on the topic of the essay? Okay, let's move on. Now, exercise number 3. Let's see. Here we have to complete the gaps with linkers from the essay. As you can see in the text, you see, we have certain linkers like they are given in pink. On the one hand, first of all, furthermore, then, for instance, to sum up, personally, I think, and that's it. They are also given here. On the one hand, first of all, personally, I think, for instance, furthermore, to sum up. You have to put them in the correct space, in the correct category. Which of these use linkers to? Which of them are? To list arguments, to give examples, to show contrast, to give a personal opinion, or to introduce a conclusion. Let's get started with the first one. To list the arguments. You have firstly, secondly, and finally given here. So I'm quite sure that all of you have answered the first one with yes, first of all. Okay, and here you have put, what do you think? What do you think? Yes, furthermore. Okay, to give examples, for example, and for instance, correct. to show contrast. However, then you have here on the other hand, which immediately leads you to the expression on the one hand. Great. To give a personal opinion, you have in my opinion or personally, yes, personal opinion or personally I think, yes. And to introduce a conclusion, in conclusion or to sum up. Let's check the understanding. First of all, prije svega. Firstly, prvo, secondly, drugo, furthermore, dalje, finally, konačno. For instance, na primjer, također i for example. However, ipak, kako god, on the one hand, s jedne strane, on the other hand, s druge strane, in my opinion, po mom mišljenju, lično, personally I think, lično ja mislim ili smatram, in conclusion, u zaključku, ili da zaključimo, to sum up, da sumiramo. Okay, you're great with this exercise. That's great. So we are moving on. Okay, exercise number 4. To do this exercise, actually we are going to do it immediately with exercise number 5, because I'm going to go with you through the writing focus, where you have a for and against essay structure. So you have introduction, body, and conclusion. And let's see each of these parts. In the introduction part, begin with general or factual comments about the topic. End with a statement that mentions both sides of the issue. Body. You have arguments for, present 2 or 3 arguments for the topic. Include examples to support arguments. Then we have arguments against, to write a similar presenting and supporting arguments against the topic. It is very important when you give a reason for or a reason against to support it with the examples. That's really important. And in conclusion, to make a summarizing statement, okay, and to add a personal opinion. Your personal opinion, and what is also important is do not forget to use linkers to make your essay easier to follow. This is a great advice. Okay, now let's get back to the task. Read the essay, and in which paragraph does the writer give a personal opinion? We have the text, and you have it in your textbooks as well. So in which paragraph do we have a personal opinion? What do you think? You have here expression personally, I think. So it's a logical answer. Okay, we'll move this for a second. In which paragraphs does the writer present argument against the topic? Against the topic? Let's see. Let's see. What do you think? Yes, on the other hand, you recognize, so it's number 3. Okay, let's see the next question. In which paragraph does the writer introduce both sides of the issue? Both sides of the issue? In which paragraph? Take a good look at the essay and answer. It's here. So the correct answer is number 1. Well done. Let's move on. Present number 4. In which paragraph does the writer present arguments for the topic? For the topic. Let's see. On the one hand, first of all, furthermore, on the other hand, there are also arguments against. So it's logically number 2. Okay, let's see the next question. In which paragraph does the writer make some general or factual comments about the topic? So, general comment or facts about the topic. What do you think? What do you think? Yes, it's number 1. here general opinion or general facts about or comments about the topic. Okay. Number 6, in which paragraph does the writer make a statement summarizing the main arguments? Summarizing the main arguments. Let's see. In which paragraph? What do you think? Yes, great. It's number 4, also in the final one. And the last question in this exercise is, in which paragraph does the writer support arguments with examples? You also have 4 options here. So support arguments with examples. Okay, I think you found it. It's number 2, because in the second one he gave examples. The people in these tribes could enjoy better standard. For example, you see they could get access. They would probably be amazed to learn modern technology and other examples. That's a good job. Okay, let's continue. Before we start this exercise, I would like to show you some images. Just a second. Yes. Images of animals in the zoo or zoos. You see, they are in closed space. People take photos of them. Look at them. Okay, and now in this exercise you are going to write an essay on the topic of keeping animals in zoo. That will be your task. But which of these arguments are for and which are against keeping animals in zoos? There are opportunities for research. What do you think? Is it a reason for or against, or argument for? For, correct. Okay, what about this one? The animals suffer from stress and depression. Against or for? Against, definitely. Number 3, it is very difficult to recreate the animals' natural environments. For or against? Correct, against. And endangered species can be protected. That is the reason for. Good job. This was really well done. Let's move on. Now we're going to match or to connect exercise number 6 and exercise number 7 in order to complete the exercise number 7. So it is very difficult to recreate the animal's natural environment. The animals suffer from stress and depression. There are opportunities for research. Endangered species can be protected. Those are mixed arguments for and against. And on the opposite side we have supporting points for these arguments. I'm going to read them. For instance, birds kept in zoos can never fly freely like wild birds. Then, for example, some animals become stressed because of contact with zoo visitors. For instance, some species which used to be wild are only now found in zoos. And for example, we have learned more about genetics from studying zoo animals. Think a little bit about these connections. For example, what would be appropriate supporting point for this one? It is very difficult to recreate the animal's natural environments. What do you think? I'm quite sure that all of you have done the correct matching, so I'm going to show the answers to you, which are the following. It's very difficult to recreate the animal's natural environments. The matching supporting idea would be, for instance, birds kept in zoos can never fly freely like wild birds. The animals suffer from stress and depression. For example, some animals become stressed because of contact with zoo visitors. Then the supporting idea for their opportunities for research would be, for example, we have learned more about genetics from studying zoo animals. And the last one, endangered species can be protected. For instance, some species which used to be wild are now only found in zoos. As you can see, for each this argument on the left, you have a supporting idea on the right. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a homework, which is a writing task. Write your essay using all the notes and give reasons for your point of view. So, The topic is it a good idea to keep animals in zoos? I'm going to show you one more time the photos. Take a look at it. Zoos for or against. What are the advantages and disadvantages of keeping animals in zoos? Please, while writing your homework, it should contain between 140 and 190 words and follow these steps. Also, feel free to use the useful expressions and the lingers. Also, to make it easier for you to complete it, you have steps to follow. You have steps to check if you have included all the necessary points in your essay. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was interesting to you and that you have learned the structure and how to write this type of essay. Thank you for your attention and see you next time. Bye.